What's happening, YouTube? Caliber here. We're here to do another Epic 7 video. This one is on Abyss 65. This one has a annoying heal mechanic to it, so we had to do something a little special with a brand new free-to-play character that we can get our hands on, 4-star Kabuzu. So all this gear that you see on Clarissa right here, all this gear you see on her, all the Adventure Path gear, I moved it straight over to Kabuzu. So Kabuzu right here is an interesting character. His S3 has Unhealable for 2 turns. So I wanted to make the tree unhealable. Tree, spirit, whatever that thing is. Yeah. Also has a chance when debuffed to increase attack to himself. And his S1 has a 25% chance to burn for 2 turns. I wanted to take advantage of the fact it was Earth Element and he was Fire and see how that worked out. The other choice I had was I tried Lorena. It didn't work out very well. So I was like, let's give Kabuzu a try with Clarissa's gear. So everything you see here gear-wise got thrown over to Kabuzu. I felt like he was a little underwhelmed, but you kind of feel that way when you try a new character out that's not molded like your other characters. Went in there with my Sid here, guys. My Sid's rocking 220 speed, 89 crit, 197 critical hit damage. I am slowly taking advantage of the fact I can farm Wyvern 11 and plugging some gear in there, guys, making him better and better day by day. He's going to be a monster, guys, a monster. And I'm really loving it. And running Dust Devil on himself. He's been mulled a little bit too, so good stuff. We also ran Angelic Mont. Angelic Mont, I'm slowly filling her up with some speed gear. I did manage to get 10 tokens out of the raid finally. Able to put the Azamanix fighter armor on, which is really good armor, especially for any support healer character you got going on in the game. I'm still running the Sacred Hero Sword, Sacred Hero Helmet. I'll eventually get those replaced. I just don't know when. I need some pieces in there to give me some effective resistance. That's where I'm at. Maybe I'll get a good raid drop this week. We are also rocking the Aether. Aether is 1-4 right here. Running some hit point percentage gear on the right hand side with some speed boots with a speed set just to get that 160 speed and Megara's Tome. Another thing to point out about Angelic too, Angelic may or may not be wearing Ega Delusion. I've been in so many Abyss fights where I've had Ega Delusion on and I forgot. But I like to switch over to Megara's Tome. Megara's Tome is much better. Ega Delusion, I just use it for tanking Wyvern 11. That's why I'm always making that mistake. I do some Wyvern 11 farming, go into Abyss fight, and I'm like, oh, I got Ega Delusion on. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoy this, enjoy all this. Yeah, let's get to it. Enjoy the fight. All right, so I have this fight sped up quite a bit. I think this fight took me way too long, like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. It took me quite a while. All I know is when I threw this video up, it was so long, I was just like, I'm definitely gonna have to speed this up quite a bit. So pretty much what I went for here is I went for the back ad there. I don't know why I went for that one, to be honest. I've been in this fight so many times. I think that's the one that showed the biggest threat to me. Oh yeah, because he attack buffs. Yeah, that's why I went after him. So one thing I did do on this fight, and if you guys probably kind of noticing, I'm using Mont and Aether to attack the mice and try to apply a slow or a sleep on them just for fun. While my DPS is taking out the back guy. So you'll watch me from time to time do that. But I did this fight a lot, guys. I went through the I kind of got stuck on this fight, pretty hard stuck. And the reason I got hard stuck is the unhealable mechanic on the boss. Or the healing mechanic on the boss on the next thing, and Unhealable was kind of handy. So that's why I leveled Kabuzu. I swapped some gear over him just to let him do some work, guys. Nothing too crazy. So as you can see, I'm taking advantage of putting to sleep some of these guys, slowing them down if possible. Whatever I can do to mitigate that damage. I will say this, Mont and her sleep ability is absolutely positively nuts, guys. Like, I can't even explain how good this is. Like, I don't know how many ads I've put to sleep just because I was like, hey, let's see if we can put them to sleep. Oh, they're asleep. There we go. But as you can tell, these things are super tanky. They take a pretty good hit. Kabuzu is with Clarissa's gear. My Clarissa hits like a truck. Kabuzu with Clarissa's gear felt very underwhelming. One thing I will say though is he is not molded, which is probably why he feels underwhelming, because you know Clarissa is molded out really good. So when you go from a molded character with the same gear to an unmolded character with the same gear, you're gonna kind of feel it, and I was feeling it on this fight. But this is probably about my best option. I would say one person who would do a lot of work on this fight is a good Commander Lorena, for sure. Nice little chunky damages going on there from her. She always seems to just hit extremely hard in this game. So as you can see, we're still killing ads. We're still building up that Archie meter. It got to the point where I was building up the Archie meter and I was like, oh, maybe I should have like done some Archie burns on this. But then again, I was also talking to chat and just kind of zoning out on this fight because this fight was taking forever, and I've been in this fight so many times. It was one of my hard stops, guys. It was one of my hard stops, and I've mentioned that in the past. You'll clear a whole bunch of stages, you won't even like bat an eye, and then you run across the stage and you're like, I don't have the mechanic needed to clear this stage, so what character can I drop and what character can I bring in to make this happen? And that's what it's about, guys. So going in here right away, busting down some Archies because it needs to be done. These little spirit whatever thing they are, those green flappy wingy leaf thingies, needs to die right away. They throw out some extra heals. They're annoying. So we're just going ham on them right now, watching Sid do his work, his finest work ever. He's like an artist with that knife, man. He's an artist. So here we go. I will say this about the fight. Even after you clear the ads, the boss is extremely dangerous. One thing I didn't do, I did this fight so many times, and I couldn't find the recording that would tell me the abilities of Harris of the Wind. So unfortunately I didn't get any of the abilities up. But I will say he has an AoE rock drop he does that does a lot of damage. It's right there. That thing's freaking ridiculous. So it was all about keeping my heals up right there at this point in time. And then boom, we need to get that Unhealable to land. If we don't get that Unhealable to land, he throws a heal on himself. After he's healed himself, there's a heal over time on top of that. It is just a long fight. You're gonna watch his health meter go back and forth like a freaking blood pressure gauge, man. It is just absolutely. You need some type of Unhealable mechanic, some type of, you know, you can probably get away with bringing like a Hazel in here, Kawuzu, a Dispeller, and when he does heal himself with the heal over time, you can just dispel it off of him. Defense breaker is really nice to have on this fight. Maybe even an attack buffer. I think Hazel would be really good for this fight, guys. I really do. Maybe Commander Lorena to do a CR push on this guy. There's a bunch of different options. Some type of CR push to make sure he's doing less and less of what he is doing to you. Just something to lessen his ability to heal. So there we landed the Unhealable. The bad part about this fight is every time I didn't land Unhealable, it's like when his hit points went back up. And as you can see there, look how much damage I took. Aether almost died. Aether's at 8k hit points, guys. So yeah, this guy can do some damage, man. He can do some serious damage. I was like at the edge of my seat so many times from death that it was insane. Absolutely insane. So as you can see, he has the heal over time on him again. I can't do nothing about it because Kawuzu doesn't have the buff up, the Unhealable buff on him, or doesn't have his ability up to apply Unhealable. And that's if he even lands it. That was even if he lands it. So having someone who can do unbuffable is just, or unbuffable, Unhealable is so good. And as you can see, got the Unhealable buff on him. Yes, now we can do some damage, working him down a little bit more. Some suggestions on this fight. I think a Dispeller would be really good. One thing I was lacking on this fight is a good Dispeller. As you can see, he throws an attack buff on himself. Those are the times he almost killed me. Those are the times where I almost bit the dust so many times, and that right there could have been mitigated from a Dispeller. Maybe a Falconer Flurry with an S3 Dispel. Dispel defense break would be pretty good. I don't know, whatever dispeller you have might be a little bit more handy on this fight than, you know, what I was doing. See, watch the damage right here coming up. I'm about to get slapped in the face. He gets that attack buff. Look what he did to Mont. Mont has like freaking 15k hit points, guys. 15k. Somebody's about to almost die here. Nope, I guess not. The buff wore off, but still, look at that damage, guys. Look at that damage. Yeah, so you got to make sure you're prepped up and stuff. You can heal up. Dispel would be nice. That's one regret I have. I just didn't have a dispeller, and we're about to wrap up the fight, guys. But that's how I did this fight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. I am trying to do as many videos as possible for Epic 7, so you guys have a good one. Talk to you later.